Hello. Welcome back to a new week of Byte Size Moments with AJ. Today, to kick the week off, I want to talk about how much content is too much content. To get started, I want to take a step back and ask, is this the right question? Why are you asking this question? And how do I help you find an answer to it? So a lot of people are asking this question because they're actually overwhelmed by the amount of content they think they have to produce or are looking to produce. It's very rare that someone comes to us with this question because they are just producing so much content and their users are getting overwhelmed and they don't know where to cut back because it's all super useful. That's not when it comes up. When it comes up is when they are asking us for SEO tips or ways to improve their site, and we mention content that they can add to make a more rich experience. And then they're like, well, I could do that, but wouldn't that be a lot of content? Isn't that too much content? And we kind of come back to this question. For most small businesses, creating too much content isn't an issue if you are taking the time to create quality content. So, how much content should I be creating is a better question. And it's a bit of a variable answer depending on your users, the people who you want to come to the site and use it, and your team and your expertise. Some people can crank out a video every day because they've got a wonderful studio, they've got basics of video editing, or they just think that their iPhone and going live every day is good enough, and that's great, that's fine, that's perfect for those people. Other people, though, might have a writing background and be more comfortable writing a post all the time. It all depends on you, your business, and your ideal clients. So first, the question that you want to ask yourself is, what can you commit to doing? Because at the end of the day, if you can't commit to it, if you set yourself an impossible goal, you're not going to achieve it. So start small. Start with something that seems perfectly reasonable that you can picture adding into your routine, whether it's weekly, daily, bi-weekly. What can you commit to? Second, what can you do well? Are you a writer who's really good at researching? Create blogs. Are you someone who loves being on camera or wants to increase your comfort on camera? Make videos. Are you a graphic designer? Make infographics. Whatever you feel like you can do really well and you enjoy doing, you're more likely to do it and put that content out there. Third question, how long and in-depth is your content? For some people, they're writing simple tips every day, and that's great. It's bringing people out. They're putting together between 250 and 500 words of a tip for their users on how to use one of their products or services or how to get the most out of something that they did every day. That works really well. For other people, they are writing full white papers and essays, and it's taking a lot of research, and it's really high quality content that is going to help people achieve more in-depth things. Maybe you're doing tutorials on how to use one of your products or an associated product. Maybe you're doing ship tours on a cruise. You can't do those every day. That's all going to kind of fluctuate how much content you're creating. Also, don't be afraid to mix it up. You don't have to do the same thing every time, but just be aware of what you tend to go towards. Are you more long form? Are you more short form? What is your audience responding to? So you should have a pretty good idea, unless you're brand new, what your customers are actually going to respond to, what they are looking for. Going back to They Ask You Answer, which we have a course coming up going over that book in depth. I hope you'll join me for that. More details on that coming soon. Going back to that, what questions are your customers asking? What are they looking for you to answer? What information do they need? You should have a pretty good handle on that. If you don't, ask. Ask some customers you have a good relationship with. Ask your friends and family, like, hey, what more information do you need? What would entice you to come? What can I do to build that trust with you through the information I'm provided? And then lastly, is your content that you are creating supporting your company or product? If it's great if you can write 500 words a day on aliens, but if you're selling keyboards, how is that tying back? It's great if you can write a small piece of a short story every day, but if you are providing handyman services, how is that supporting your business? So don't just create content to create content. Put thought behind it. Think about how it's tying in, how it's reaching the people that you're looking to reach. Some things to keep in mind. People don't want to drink from a fire hose. Don't, don't overwhelm them. If you're putting out 5,000 word essays every day, and then you are posting about each of those essays 2 or 3 times a day on all the different social media, you're going to overwhelm your customers. Now, as I said in the beginning, I have never had that be the problem when it comes to clients. However, some people seem to think that's what they need to do, and in that case, just nobody can drink from a fire hose. People like consistency. So if you post around the same time every day, or at least, on the same day every week, people come to learn those patterns, and they're actually even subconsciously looking for your content in those moments. If you're posting it on social and whatever else to get that out there, putting out in their newsletter, people like consistency, so do search engines. And then quality is more important than quantity. You want to make sure that your content isn't just babble about a bunch of keywords. Some general tips and guidelines. If you're doing this purely for SEO, you want to make sure you're posting at least once a week. If you're reliably only able to do it once every other week, then just do what you can do reliably and ease up to the once a week, but really you want to do once or twice a week on your website if you are really going after the SEO aspect. You're also more likely at that point to put out content someone's going to want to link to, since it is a little bit of a numbers game at that point. Once again, don't half-ass it. Definitely still concentrate on putting out quality content, but in that case, you do want to dial up the speed a little bit. Keep a content calendar. So we use Monday to track our projects and what content we need to create, but I've also used Excel spreadsheets. I've used paper calendars. I've used Google calendars. There are a lot of different ways of doing it, whatever works for the way your brain works. You want to fit that in. You want to keep your schedule, write it down, plan out all your posts surrounding the piece of content, put it all on the calendar, set yourself reminders. It'll help a lot to be able to visualize when you have things going out. Use one piece of content in multiple ways. So one thing, if you go over to Byte Size Cruises, bytesizecruises.com, or their YouTube channel, you will see that we are starting to populate blogs from the videos that we're doing. Why? Because it's really useful information, and people having access to it in different mediums is very helpful, and it also makes it easier to create more content because we do want to get an SEO boost over on that site since it's a newer site, and people are always searching for cruise things. So that is a great example of getting multiple pieces of content from one main source. You can also do a blog with an infographic. You can and then you have all your social media posts to go with it. You can start with a long form blog and break out little pieces into reels or stories where you talk about them. There's a plethora of things you can do, but use content more than once. And keep it updated. You can always go back and update content and update the date in your content management system to show that you are pruning and curating, which will help with search engines and also help with reliability as people are looking for information if information on that post has changed. Try to do it well, but even if you suck at first, just keep doing it. You will get better. So these videos started partially because I needed to gain confidence, but also I need to get better at making videos. I need to get better at talking to people. I need to get better at creating quality content. They sucked. They still suck sometimes. And I know that. But today's video is a lot better than the video from earlier this month. And while I am not putting out anything I don't want out there, I can definitely see the improvement in the quality and in my confidence. And so just keep doing it. Something that goes unrecognized a lot of time is people like coming along with you on your journey. People like seeing how things start from really low budget and slowly over time get better. People like feeling the frustrations and the victories with you. And so even if you're not great at first, even acknowledging that it's not great at first, kind of ties people in. It helps keep you vulnerable and human and makes you more relatable to the people you're trying to reach. So just keep doing it. Keep doing it. You will get better, I promise. And that will pay off in the long run. And then the last tip I have for you is make it a priority until it becomes a habit. If you are trying to integrate something into your life, you have to schedule it. You have to consciously choose it until it becomes a habit. And that's really hard to do. I really struggle with that and trying to find the right placement even for these videos every day. So yeah, make it a priority until it becomes a habit. And then it will just be in there and hopefully flow with it. So yes, all of this started with how much content is too much content. And the answer is, it depends, but probably nowhere near to what you're producing. If you do have questions about different content that might be a better fit for you, if you're having trouble thinking of content that works for your content creation process, then, try different things. Just put it on a schedule that you're going to put out one piece of content every week. Try different things, see what works. You'll find the happy medium of all of those items, and then scale up until it, until you do feel like you have a good sense on what's too much. If you're overwhelmed, your clients are your customers, your users are overwhelmed. If you feel like you haven't reached out lately, they probably feel like you haven't too, or have forgotten about you, which is even worse. So too much content is hard to hit, and if you do, I'm impressed. All right, well, I hope everyone has a great week, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, bye.